Hi, one and all. Welcome back to iPolitiki Episteme Vidyalaya. So, today in this class, we will learn about Indian Constitution and Indian government and Aristotle classified governments. So, firstly, what is government? Firstly, what is government? And next question. In daily newspapers, we hear that India is the largest democracy in the world. India is the biggest country. India is the democracy. So, in these words, questions to some people: what is republic? What is democracy? And how many types of government in the world? How its procedures formed? So, in this class, we will definitely discuss about the government and Indian Constitution and how many governments in the world. Let's learn about it. So, firstly, what is government? Government is a mechanism. Government is a mechanism. So, government definition, we can say government is a necessary administrative mechanism for a country or a group of states. A government is a necessary administrative mechanism for a country or a group of states. So, in this world, there are nearly 196 countries in the world, according to United Nations report. According to United Nations report, there are 196 governments in the world. 196 countries in the world. There are 196 countries in the world. So, in the world, the government came into force in Greece. The first government established in Greece. The Greece country have wonderful people and wonderful procedures of the government. So, firstly, we have to talk about Greece. It means Greek philosophers or intellectuals. In Greek, introduced many philosophers to the world, like Plato and Aristotle. The firstly government started by Plato. Plato explained his government clearly, but his disciple Aristotle, who is the father of political science, he explained clearly the government. He examined the nearly 158 constitution to examine the government. Aristotle said that there are three types of governments. Aristotle explained the government and classified. He said that there are three types of government. The first one is ruled by one person. The second one is ruled by a few. The third one is ruled by many. Aristotle classified government, there are three. Firstly, ruled by one person. We have to talk about the rule by one person. In the rule by one person, there are two governments here. The first government is monarchy. The second government is tyranny. Monarchy is a polity. It means in a state or place ruled by one person. The person using his power to welfare of the people and welfare of the place. So it's called monarchy. in monarchy government, we can saw the only one king ruled by the state, and the king used its power to welfare of the people. So it's called monarchy. Monarchy, another definition is the person, the king succeeded by the son succeeded by son. So it's called monarchy. The Aristotle ruled by one person. The second government is tyranny. Tyranny means the king is the ultimate thing at that place at the state. The tyranny is the one only ruled by one king. So the king established the government, which means he used his power to own self, until himself. He used his power to itself. Selfish, it means selfish. Is not welfare of the people, but he using his power to himself. So it calls monarchy. The Aristotle classified government, the second government is ruled by a few. In the rule by few government, there are two governments. The first one is aristocracy. The second one is oligarchy. The aristocracy means in a state or a place there are some people like educated people, the rich people, the educated people, rich people, some people ruled the government. The rich people, the educated people established the government and ruled the place or a state. So it's called aristocracy. And Aristotle ruled by a few government. There is second government is oligarchy. So oligarchy means is minority. In a place, some of people to accompany to establish a government is called oligarchy. The Aristotle third government, Aristotle classified third government, there is ruled by many. So ruled by many, there are two governments, firstly polity and secondly democracy. In that polity means there are central state governments here, so which means to establish government. So it's called polity. And Aristotle ruled by many governments. The second one is democracy. Democracy means the former American president Abraham Lincoln said that for the people, by the people. You know, in social textbooks, by a government is for the people, by the people. It's called democracy. In the democracy, we saw some of institutions. There are many governments here. There are central government and state government. It means to establish administration. So it's called democracy. And so Aristotle explained clearly on the government. He examined 158 constitution. So why people calling him the father of political science. So Aristotle is the great in political science and other subjects also. So let's back into our nation, India. How India formed and how Indian constitution came into force. In independence time, we are fighting with Britishers. British ruled by many years to our nation. So in that time, our Indian fighters fight with the British Empire. So in that time, in 1946, the British government asked to Indian independence practitioners. Are you create your own constitution? Or you create your own constitution? So in that time, our Indian fighters accepted the British question. So in 1946, the Indian great leaders of this time established the Constitution Assembly in 1946. We have got in independence in 1947, August 15. In Constitution Assembly was formed in 1946. The chairman of Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad is also first president of the India. And so in that time you have independence, but there is no idea what kind of government we need. In that time in the world there are many countries using different types of government. There are many countries using different types of government, like parliamentary system, presidential system, federal system, unitary types of government. So Britain is the first established government to establish parliamentary system, and the Britain is the only one, the origin of parliamentary system. And in the Britain, and the Iceland is the oldest parliament in the world. The Iceland is the oldest parliament in the world. So in the time you have to decide at the parliamentary system. Why India is the largest country? So it is useful for our country. So under chairmanship of Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad, the Constitutional Assembly formed a drafting committee, which means Musayada Committee, who wrote the Constitution calls drafting committee. So in August 29, 1947, the drafting committee was established under the chairman of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is the father of our Indian Constitution. So that it, after many days to wrote our Constitution, we nearly 2 years, 11 months, 18 days to take our Constitution. In our Constitution, we can our Constitution and our government, we can saw the sum of our presidential system, federal system, parliamentarian system, unitary government. So our system is the jumbling system. So after 2 years, 11 months, 18 days to take up our Constitution. So in 1949, November 26, our Constitutional Assembly enacted to accepted our Constitution of India. But the Constitution of India came into force in 1950, January 26. So we have one question: why India to take many days to Constitution came into force? So in 1990, Lahore, present Pakistan, in some meeting, in Congress meeting, we have declared that Sampurna Swaraj. So our constitution leaders and independence leaders respected that date in 1930, January 26. So our leader respected that date. So January 26 is the ultimate thing. So our constitution came into force in 1950 January 26, the first president of the India, Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad, and the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. And in that time, we have 395 articles and 22 parts and 8 schedules. In today, we have 448 articles and 25 parts and 8 schedules in our Constitution of India. And nearly today, according to March 1, 2024, according to the United Nations report, India have 143 crore 73 lakh 37,951 population. So near the largest democracy in the world. But we have 76 years of independence. But you can see in our country so many people in agency places or city places not aware of constitution. Some people not understand the constitution. What is constitution? So firstly, the people when to know our constitution, the development was taught. When people understand our acts, our laws, we will definitely develop a country. So the constitution is the ultimate thing. Thank you, one and all who are seeing this video. Our next class we have discussed about the another topic. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.